This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free.
$70 million handed out to one winner of a Lotto Max yesterday in Quebec this time around. I don't know what I would do with that kind of money. In a recent poll, though, I found out what most people would do, and it's not tell their family or friends if they had the option. I think they make you tell the world that you've won, or else people would think that, like, it's
Rigged.
there's something greasy happening. There's no actual winners.
Yeah, they make you pose with the big check, right? I'd get like makeup done so it makes me look completely different.
Get your name legally changed just for a couple days.
Yeah.
So apparently 83% of people would choose not to tell their friends or family if they had the choice. And I thought that was ridiculous. So I just did a quick poll at 780-784-7107. And 100% of our listeners would not tell their family or friends if given the option.
We got this text from Doug, and it says, I would wait a year to tell everyone that I won so I could surprise everyone with gifts. But I would spend that year judging everyone's every move more than I already do.
All right.
Do you deserve my gifts?
If I was started sharing gifts with friends like that, like just sending somebody a pair of $700 Jordans and the next guy a barbecue, my friends would be like, did you win the lottery? That would be their first question.
Yeah, that's
it would
true.
just seem so out of character to buy like that level of gift.
This first-time texter says, I would not tell my family if I won the lottery. My mother sued me and I'm making monthly payments to her. If she knew I won money, she'd want it all.
Yikes.
This is why we all need to be very thankful. And moments like this are very humbling when it's like, what do you mean your mom is suing you? Like, that's so brutal. I'm so
Heavy.
sorry to hear that. That is very heavy.
Banna says, I would give some to you too. Thank
Okay,
you.
yeah, right.
Oh, Banna keeps buying lotto tickets. What about you? Would you tell your family and friends?
No.
Really? Come on.
But I would also love to pay off all of my family's debt. So, like, how do you do that?
Right.
You'd have to tell them.
Unless you did it like anonymously. But you'd want the credit, wouldn't you?
Kind of, yeah. Well, I'm the youngest child. I'm like,
You need credit.
give me attention.
Yeah, I would need to tell I can't keep secrets at all. I would need to tell my family and friends, and I would be very excited to share a good chunk of the money with them.
Okay, this is very interesting. Sam wrote in saying, my husband's aunt won the lottery many years ago. Millionaire. Some people in the family just leached to her and they didn't pay any attention to her before.
Yeah, that would be greasy.
That'd be horrible.
You'd know who that is, though. And like to me, I would feel very comfortable being like, oh, you're calling me now. What do you need?
Yeah, you would be very sarcastic with them. It would actually be kind of fun.
I would make fun of them. Yeah. Like, oh, we're in a really hard place. Like, oh, no. I'm just kidding. I don't think I'd go that far.
Okay, we have our first texter saying they would tell.
Thank you.
Okay, they want to remain anonymous, though, which is so ironic.
All right.
Okay, that is peak comedy right there.
A little bit confused. So what? It's gas on now. $1.85.
So yesterday I had one of my girlfriends text that she prepaid $80 and she's got like a small SUV and she said it wasn't enough.
No.
She was like, oh, it's not full. Okay, well, that's depressing.
Yeah, it's greasy. It sucks, and everybody's dealing with it. You and I have made a big change. We used to commute separately. Mm-hmm. That's mainly because we're both in bad moods at 4 a.m. when we come to work.
Yeah, and you hit the brakes on the white mud.
At red lights.
No, on the white mud.
No.
Yeah.
I drive a little more cautiously than you because you drive like a bat out of hell all the time. You drive like you're...
I have to be somewhere.
And you don't.
I have to be at work.
Usually you don't have to be anywhere.
Well, that's rude.
Anyway, this is why we don't commute.
But we're making these changes because of the gas prices. So hit us up and let us know little changes that you've made because of... Are we fighting?
That's literally what every commute sounded like before we realized we have to do this with the gas prices where they are. And so now we just sit silently
We
the
actually
entire
do.
drive
It's
to
a
work.
rule. We're not allowed to talk to each other on the
Especially no comments about driving.
Nothing.
Not even if we're about to get in an accident. You can't even.
Yeah, like he'll be like changing lanes. He doesn't shoulder check, and there's a semi coming, and I'm like, well, I guess this is just the way I'm gonna die. I can't say anything.
You just made up so much.
No, I
there.
didn't.
I do shoulder check, and I've never cut in front of a semi. Ugh. This.
Don't even get me started with him in a traffic circle.
Okay, I'm going to need somebody to pick me up from work because I am not riding home with you.
He just closes his eyes and hopes for the best in a traffic circle. I swear to God. I only fill up at places that take my Optimum points card. Whereas before, I would just, if there was a gas station nearby and I needed gas, I would go anywhere. Now I'm like, no. If I'm paying this much, give me all of the Optimum points.
Yeah.
Because that goes towards your groceries. That goes towards Shoppers Drug Mart. Like, it's so worth it to get those points. If you don't have an Optimum's points card, I don't know what is wrong with you, but get one.
And when you're spending, $100 at the pump instead of 50, you're getting a lot more points every time you do fill up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Angela hit us up and said, my ass is biking everywhere.
Same with Nikki on the text line. And we actually called her just to like get her opinion on this, pick her brain a bit. Didn't answer. I was like, it's because she's on her bike.
She's on her bike. Angela continued with extra win that I can only get enough groceries to fill my backpack anyway.
Okay.
So biking works. My winter strategy seems like a future me problem.
Ooh, I love that. Just taking it day by day. You'll worry about it when the first snowflake hits your nose.
Yeah, live in the moment, not because of like some spiritual tie to it, just because you have to live in the moment. Mm-hmm. That's our only option right now.
So we're talking about the gas prices, and maybe it's a big change you've made in your world after Ryder has a friend that quit their job because gas was too much. They needed to find somewhere closer to where they lived.
Leanne says, I don't go lower than half a tank anymore.
Ooh,
so that way it doesn't stun my bank account when, I have to spend $50 to fill up. If I don't let it go below half, I don't spend more than that. Just in one go.
Sarah texted in saying, I bought a bus pass. Oh, say that 5 times fast.
I bought a bus pass. 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 Real hard.
Okay.
Lots happening with upcoming movies that have some hype around them.
Yeah, and also, before we get into movies, it was just announced that Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle are doing a joint stand-up show.
Hopefully there's some good security at those shows.
You got to think that Chris Rock has his head on a swivel.
And Dave Chappelle. They both got jumped within a month. Just brutal.
Totally. Anyway, so in movie news, Joker 2 is officially happening.
Awesome.
So Joaquin Phoenix is going to return. I never watched it, and I feel like it's because I knew it was going to be really depressing and dark. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't.
Did it come out in the winter too?
I don't know.
I feel like I could handle more movies like that when it's nice out because you can like break away from reality.
Well, I only watch horror films on sunny days. Because
valid point.
Have you ever tried to watch a scary movie when it's light out? You can't see anything on the screen. And I like that. I don't want to see anything. I'm too scared. And now there were rumors that it was a battle between Julia Garner and Florence Pugh for the role of Madonna in the upcoming biopic. It seems like they're leaning towards Julia Garner. And if you don't know who that is off the top of your head, she's the blonde from Ozark.
Ruth.
God,
was she good in that show.
Mm-hmm.
Her acting performance was incredible. It was so good that it makes me question if she can do Madonna.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, too, because it was rumored that a bunch of actresses had been put through this like grueling all-day boot camp where they were expected to sing, dance, and act like Madonna. And if Julia Garner is getting this role, that would be shocking because you look at her role as Ruth and you're like, Ruth can't dance like Madonna.
No, she couldn't walk like Madonna either. She walks like a 4x4 truck in that show.
Oh, her acting is just crazy.
She's storming everywhere around in that show.
And also, we know that the Elvis movie is coming out. It looks so good. But it was between the actual actor that got the role, Austin Butler, who was in Hannah Montana, iCarly.
Yeah.
He was a Nickelodeon guy. He's 30 years old now. But Harry Styles was up for the gig.
I mean, there was so much backlash about Harry not getting it. Both Harry and the director had to explain why not. This is what the director said. I do these really rich workshops. I don't really audition. And he said that the real issue with Harry is he's Harry Styles. He's an icon already.
He's already a music icon. It would be weird if he was trying to be Elvis.
Harry's already Harry. You know what I mean? So I think they actually did make a good decision in that aspect.
Yeah, and he's in 2 upcoming movies. Actually, 3. One's a spoiler, though, so I can't really say anything.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, well, then you don't follow superhero movies.
Oh, I do know that.
Now you know.
Okay.
But Austin Butler was cast as Elvis, and people keep making fun of the fact that he's such a method actor that his voice is completely different now in real life after filming Elvis. So he's born and raised from California. This is what he sounded like before filming Elvis.
I went into a store and I just asked I think every salesman in the store at one point was trying to figure out the right thing.
This is what he sounds like in interviews after. This isn't part of the movie.
No.
Hey, it feels so good being back here. I had the best time of my life getting to shoot this film in Australia, and it just feels so magical getting to be back. So,
like, did he train his voice to just get to a lower octave? If so, how did you do that?
And how do you keep it all the time?
Came across something last night that I think would have aired last week on America's Got Talent. I always watch it on PVR.
Yeah, so it's a show that you and your daughter bond together watching, and I feel like that is the case for a lot of parents and their kid because there's so many bad kids shows.
Yeah.
There's usually a hidden gem or one that you can bear to watch with your kid.
Sure. So, like, my kid will watch by herself, like Sam and Cat, which annoys the hell out of me, or Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn, or whatever their names are. Go ahead, like, if she's got the TV to herself, but when we watch TV together,
You have to both enjoy it.
it's usually like AGT. There was a really great bit on America's Got Talent from this past week that her and I were both laughing so hard at, and you didn't seem to enjoy it very much.
I thought it was so annoying.
It's a parody song about when you go to a restaurant and they ask you if you want Parmesan. And the guy's name is Ben Lapidus, I think is his last name. And it's just a terrific original track, in my opinion.
I will say, at first I was annoyed of it. Same with Simon Cowell. He was like, I'm not putting this person through. And then it got to the point where I was like, you kind of start to smile and you're like, hey, this is actually pretty funny.
It wins you over eventually. All 4 judges buzzed him off originally, and the fans were so rattled because they were enjoying it.
They all started singing along, and then Simon Cowell started singing along, and then you and your daughter started singing it all night long.
Yeah.
So just a warning, this will get stuck in your head, but listen to this.
When I get pasta at a restaurant and the waiter comes around with a Parmesan cheese and he says Parmesan and I say please. He gives me a spoonful and says, would you like more? And I say sure, as if it's no big deal, as if it's not my reason for choosing an Italian restaurant in the first place. He looks at me and says, is that good? Yeah, that's good, thanks. I always want more Parmesan, but I'm embarrassed. I always want more Parmesan, but I'm embarrassed. That's me! Why are they so stingy? Is there a shortage of Parmesan? Is it really that expensive? I just want more cheese. Is that so wrong? Just leave it at the table. For God's sake, I'm a grown-up, I have rights, and I will not be shamed for my cheese intake. I always want more Parmesan, embarrassed. I will not remain silent, I will not give in. I will die before I let Big Parma win.
The whole crowd is booing that he got 4 X's.
Yeah.
And then they all started chanting that they wanted more Parmesan, but they're embarrassed. And it is so... It's so bad, but it's so good. And now
It's so good.
Every time that I go to an Italian restaurant now, I'm going to think of that song.
Yeah. And, like, you shouldn't be embarrassed. It's there for a reason. I like how a couple of the lines in it, like, I wish you'd just leave it at the table, and how he says he's never going to let Big Parma win, which I thought was really crafty. Play 107, it's Ryder and Lisa. There is a new drink out that a lot of people are talking about, that being the Biebs cold brew at Timmy's. So we both tried it. What would you give it out of 5 stars?
I mean, I would order it again. I'd give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Do I think it's the best cold brew I've ever had? No.
Right. Pretty decent option, though, and the price is nice.
It's what I would get over any other Tim Hortons drink at the moment, yeah.
All right. We did discover the one time, which was the mocha iced cap with an extra shot of espresso to make it a bit more coffee, and it was really good.
It melts really fast. You kind of got to slam it, and then you're just buzzing.
But I tried it as well. I'd probably give it a 3.5, maybe a 4.
Okay.
We've got Sugar on the phone who's going to try it live with us. You good to go?
I got the cold brew thing.
Okay.
I just got it, but just give me 1 sec because my car is going to connect to my phone any second now. Why is it being so slow? Hello!
That's what my dad would say when I was running track as a kid. He'd lean over to my mom and say, "Why is it being so slow?" Just kidding. I actually used to rip.
You know what? I did too.
Were you were fast?
Yeah, I used to be fast.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
awesome.
I didn't even know how fast I was until I went on vacation with 30 dudes to Mexico, and we all lined up on the beach and had a foot race to see, like...
In the sand?
In the sand. And I beat all 29 guys, and there was, like, athletic as hell dudes there.
Really?
Yeah. Like, there was one guy that was playing college football at the time for
Maybe
UFC.
it's because you have webbed feet, so it worked good in the sand. Long toenails. The claws were helping you.
When did you see my feet?
We're ready for your Tim Biebs cold brew review.
Okay, let me open this bad boy. Here we go. No, it's not good. It's not good.
Is it really sweet?
I don't like it. It just tastes like a normal cold coffee with a shot of flavor.
Well, that's kind of what cold brews are.
No, cold brew should be like
electric.
Cold brew. No, I feel like they're just pouring old coffee in with ice.
Yeah.
No, there's a difference between cold brew. It's like steeped.
Oh.
So what would you rate it out of 5?
I'd give it a 1.
Ooh. Okay, well, we'll send you $2 because we feel bad for telling you to go try one.
Are you kidding me? It's $3.35. $3.35.
Okay, well, we're only going to send you $2. That's what we promised.
We took $1.35 off because you got attitude.
Play 107.
Good morning, Play 107.
Good morning. Do I have the wrong number, I guess?
I'm not sure.
What are you looking for?
Oh, I was looking for a dental office.
Oh,
This is...
No, Ryder, we don't mess with people that need to get their teeth cleaned.
No. Okay, thank you.
I've done some dental work before after I've drank a bit, but...
Yeah, I've done that too. Hands in my pocket and fall down, nothing to protect your teeth. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Okay.
Take up the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free.
Play 107.